Oh, there's a go live button. Why was there a go live button this time? Usually it just instantly goes live. All right. Well, I think we figured it out. um, that's so annoying. That's so irritating. Why is there so many buttons to break everything? Dang it. Anyway, I guess we'll start from the top. Yeah, no. What's up, everybody? I wasn't late. When you said I was late, I was like, there was still like 30 seconds on the clock, and I was like, God dang it, I'm not late, man. But I guess I am late now because we didn't hit the go live button, I guess, which is ridiculous, but whatever. I never had that button in my life. But that's so annoying. Anyway, I had like a clock and everything. Man, live and learn. Anyway, trying to do something different today. I want to do I think I've done this once or twice before, but definitely I want to do a live deck list review with chat, which I thought would be really fun, and then we record it and put it on YouTube. Maybe chat adds a little context. Maybe people, like, maybe it can be a community thing going forward. The important thing is to keep doing it, right? That being said, this last weekend, I'm not recording it, but this last weekend we had the Core TCG Pasadena Regional, hosted by Eggman, or Core TCG hosted it. Eggman ran the stream, and then me and DigiPanda got to do the commentary. Very fun. It's really nice to get back in the saddle in terms of, yeah, I know there's a lot of like events that happen and they're just not getting streamed, and so it's nice to be able to get a stream going. And I promise it's just like, it's always an effort to try to get those streams going for people. There's always an effort, and it just sometimes, man, it just doesn't follow through. How are you doing after 9 rounds? It's tiring, it's work, but like it's not, yeah, it's definitely fun. It's a lot of things. You definitely, like, after the fact, you definitely don't want to do anything. You just like want to chill in bed, but it is what it is, you know. It's a little bit of work, but it's still fun work, so I can't complain all too much. Good afternoon, Roll Bisharp. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, it's really fun to be able to switch gears, and like, you guys know me at this point. I'm all over the place with things. I yap way too much, especially on Eagles X or anything me related. We go off the rails. So it's really fun to change like pace a little bit and like have to be like super focused. This is professional. You can't, like, the only time you can really try to nip at a tangent is like if the players are taking a little too long with their turns. So a little focus, very gameplay oriented, was definitely a change of pace. Which is good. It's necessary, right? It's definitely helpful. And it's sometimes you realize like how many effects are in this game. Like, I thought like at this point I had a lot of practice to handle this kind of stuff, but man, nothing beats when you guys are like I know like mistakes happen, and even the commentators miss stuff. Me and Panda miss stuff, judges missed stuff, and it's like you really starting to understand. It's starting to dawn on us how many effects are there and how many little conditions go along with all of those effects. And it's easy, very, and it does, I do hate to like harp on chat a little bit, but it is very easy from a relaxed position and with the privilege of being able to record it and you watch the playback to kind of be like, how'd you miss this, blah 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 blah. You know what you know the kind of behavior I'm talking about. It's very easy to come from that position and then critique, right? But when like you're sitting there and you're going mile a minute and you're trying to fill air, you have a co-host, you have production in your ear, and you're trying to make sure everything's going in a certain way, and you're trying to keep things engaging, like things get missed, right? And then even the judge, and like even judges that like are full on looking at the table the whole time. I don't know if they're like full on looking at the table the whole time, but you know what I mean. They also have other judge duties. They're in person. It's just like there's just so much little stuff. Even players miss things. Like the player playing Valderarm would miss like the fact that their opponent can't unsuspend. the Growlmon player a few times missed that they could play a Guillemon in a really important time due to the on-deletion, right? And stuff like that. So that was really interesting, I guess is the word I'm gonna go with for now. It's not interesting, but it's like when you come to a realization, you're like, dang. That was it. Me and Panda and Eggman all together, all three of us were just like, dang, there's a lot of effects now, man. Anyway, let's get into the I think 16 people is a fun enough chat to be had. I think you guys can add a lot of input to this. So let's do a live deck review. We're gonna record it and probably post it to YouTube after show. If you guys would please, let's see if I can set up my screens on the right, because I do like respecting the player names as we go through this kind of stuff. So let's see if I can properly do that. All right, I'm ready. I thought you were too squirrely to stay focused. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a problem. Anyway, let's go over the deck list. I'm gonna start. All right, we're gonna do this together. You guys ready? I'm ready. 3, 2, 1. I'll clip this part. What's up, Trios Tribe? Just had a tournament this weekend. Core TCG, Pasadena Regional, hosted by Eggman, events.com, along with myself and DigiPanda on the commentary desk. We had the very fun DigiZoo pairing. It kind of dawns on me that we need more DigiZoo participants. We have a squirrel and a panda, and that's a very, very small zoo. Maybe there's like one other person. It depends on. No, I think it's just us, man. So, you know, if you're a content creator looking for a team, I mean, we got you, homie. Anyway, most importantly, let's talk about how I'm doing this live, and so I hope to make this more of a consistent thing. So check out the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you want to participate, because I do intend to add whatever chat has to say with any of the deck lists you see. And the other important thing is this is the first NA's first event post ban list, as this did happen Sunday, the 30th, March 30th, after the March 28th ban list release, I guess we'll call it, or came into effect, I guess is the proper wording. And honestly, my at a glance, you look at the pie chart, it's a pretty diverse format, right? Like, this is a pretty healthy top 16, right? We got just off the top of my head, we have 8 decks in the top 16. That's pretty solid, right? I don't think that's in any way ludicrous. How, like, we have a bunch of one-ofs, we have the best deck of the format, or at least the most represented format of the format is Royal Knights, making a sum, and then two impressive outliers. Definitely, I think the biggest outlier everyone didn't see, most people didn't see coming into this format was Leviathan. I feel like Leviathan probably overperformed in terms of deck representation, right? Which is really cool. We saw it multiple times, round 8, round 9, being able to handle both Gallimon twice. Honestly, it's kind of funny. And Gallimon also achieving some pretty good results as well. And then Sun and Moon Galaxy taking 2 spots. Green Imperial actually took the whole thing. There was a weird kerfuffle with how the rounds ended up. By round 8, we had 2 undefeated, right? And they tied. So round 9 became like this whole weird thing where, like, the 2 people with a tie had to play against people with losses, and then, like, I get, like, one of the people with a tie lost, and so did the other one. So we just did not have a clear winner. Even at the end of the stream, I had no clue who had won the tournament. But that being said, we do know who won the tournament. Blue-Green Imperial took the whole thing. Using a U instead of a B is kind of amusing to me, because I feel like we caused that. Miguel V is the player, the Bandai TCG name, taking the whole thing, going 8-1 with Blue-Green Imperial, followed by, I mean, you can kind of look at this top 3, even the top 4 here. All having the same score. So any one of these actually technically are our true first plays, which is really interesting that you can kind of look at this and say, it's 4 different decks that could have taken first place, because as you can see, they all have the 8-1 record. It's just kind of whatever your tiebreakers kind of sent you to would be where this went, right? So 4 different decks: Red, Purple Imperial, Royal Knights, Leviathan, and New Green Imperial. Actually, we didn't speak on it, but Red, Purple Imperial probably underperformed everyone's expectation going into this, most people's expectation going into this tournament. I know Eagle X himself definitely speaks very lowly of the deck, doesn't believe that it's a deck that actually will stay in contention for this like top echelon of topping decks, but we'll see how going forward. I still think people are trying to figure out the right way to like trap every deck. I feel like people their playstyles may lead towards going into the floodgate too soon, instead of being able to like maybe establish a board with a Dino B or a Pyldramon. But let's actually jump into the deck list as we go, and we can I think I'll go into talking about, we'll talk about Digimon, and then we'll start talking about adding chat into these selections. So we got Bubble Boy here, Bubble Boy being our only yellow deck achieving a top 16 status. Let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah, no, we got the Cupimon, the EX, I believe it's the EX6 Cupimon is definitely the mainstay Digibubble from going forward, right? Ever since TK got hit to 1, all the decks have kind of moved to this Cupimon, because you kind of really need the ability to just check security, see what's in there, manipulate what's in there a little bit, and once you've done that once, most of the time Domini can pop off just fine. Domini will always be, especially the fact that we added Valderon 2 as just like you know, instead of Ruin Mode. I feel like Ruin Mode was never doing much for the deck. The Valder Armor is really gonna add more to the deck than I think a lot of people are gonna give it credit for, and the fact that it can Digivolve on top of Medieval and Domini, I think there's a lot of value there. Speaking of which, Domini making its debut here as well. But to go, Patamon, the potato probably has to go eventually, man. Like I still talk about how this Patamon is able to achieve, when you promote out of security, if you Digivolve into this Rapidmon, that is a 4 evolution that you get for free, and then you get a single memory off of the Patamon effect itself. So just for promoting, you achieve a 5 memory play, which is ridiculous, I think. Just for promoting, you get 5 memory. And Ukamon giving you 1 and a hatch was too much. I don't know. And then if you have TK to go with that, it's another memory. So you're looking at 6 memory. You can even bounce that back with the Godamon. Godamon is a 2 memory, but also gives you 1 back. So the Godamon's not as efficient as Rapid, but then you have Barrier and you're inheritable. Actually you would go 5. This would be 2 plus 3. So 2 plus 1. So you'd get a 3-4 memory play off of that pretty easily. Yeah, I know, let yellow have something, but like maybe they could have something else that isn't so just promote rookie into my level 7, you know. I know other decks are doing that too, and we'll talk about that. But no, either way, 15th place, going 7-2. Congratulations, Bubble Boy. I don't think there's a lot to be said about Domini, to be fair. You stay on some arrangement of level 5 aces, because you do sit on this Angemon, this Rapidmon, and then that's a lot. Setting up the double Angelwomon play is definitely one of the strongest things this deck can achieve still. So it makes me surprised that they choose to only have 3 Angelwomons, but I get it. Like the raw heal for Magna Angemon is kind of nice too. 4 Magna Angemon from BT16 is kind of just duh. It's just too good. Also, the other surprising thing I would say is no Seraphimon. We noticed a trend in previous formats that once Shadow Seraphi was released, Dominimon players were adding Seraphimon so that we had a level 6 that could be aggressive, and then it could still be a defensive piece, because Shadow Seraphi can ace on top of Seraphi. And that not seeing that in this list is definitely might pivot us into the future for something else, and who knows. I got a comment saying never understood how people do well with only 2 rookies, and to that I would say to you that because of mulligans, a lot of the time people are always mulliganing to find the rookies, henceforth they can be greedier with those rookie counts. They're just trying to find one rookie and then that's it. And that's why I've been going on a tangent about lately about how level 4 is actually becoming the most important slot in deck lists. Notice here we're only on 9 champions, which is, to me, that's where I start thinking, man, that's to me where I both start thinking we're a little low, because if you can see, you can mulligan for rookie, so it becomes a lot infinitely easier to find rookie, but level 4 is where you just don't have that as much consistency. And then yeah, that being said, we will I think that's, unless someone else has anything to add about the Dominion list, I think it's really it's bright showing. The TK here is 3 of this TK might be the next standout point. No trainings, just a full boost, but it also makes sense. We want boosts in this because sometimes we do just hard play this Magnet Angemon and just play our game straight from there. But I think I've harped on this deck a little too much. Let's go on to the next deck. The Sukuyamon. The Sukuyamon list actually making it all. GFG Peaches making it to the top 16 here, actually at 10th place at 7-2 record. Pretty sick record, I would think. And it's funny that going forward, we're the Sukuyamon deck did get hit, right? Everyone's worried about Ruin Mode loop with the Kazuhamon, with the ban list. Kazuhamon is at 1, but even then, I think a lot of people were kind of moving away from that list as is, and we're moving towards what we see here, where we actually do run a slightly like a more normal amount of rookies with actual champions we can digivolve into. It's still a low count. I think the most impressive thing here is that we are so greedy with like only 9 rookies, only 5 champions, and then like you would think to yourself, oh, that would mean that we're gonna go all in on Tao. Like we always have Taomon Ace as a backup. But we only have one copy of it in the deck list here, which makes me think they just like tried to hard mulligan and tried to just kind of high roll in the sense that like they were just hoping that their first hands either had enough boosts and enough search to get them rookie, champion, and then they had plenty of level 5s mathematically to get the rest of the way there at that point. Looking at six level 5s, which is 8 is the standard, so not too far off, right? And then from there, we can just play the game, digivolve into level 6, where we did have an interesting collection of level 6s. We had 2 Sukuyamon, BT 17, 2 19, 1 of the X antibody, and then 1 of the Maid Modes. Maid Mode being the most interesting addition to the level 6 lineup for Sakuya. Definitely offers a lot of utility here, especially the when attacking lets you go back into Sakuya. And then from there going from what and where here. It just gives you more targets for Digivolution plugins, Scramble. Maybe you don't always want to go into Ruin or Volder Arm. You can play an option 5 cost or less. And the other interesting tech I also saw, we all saw, I feel like I think we streamed it once, was this Blast Fire. Changing you're playing this thing for free, right? First off the jump, right? You're playing the Sukuyamon deck, so you're playing options of single color for free, and then changing any Digimon to a 3k when your deck has just -6ks, -2ks here and there all over the place is kind of crazy. Speaking of yellow, have something. I mean, the Sukuyamon deck is also here, right? I guess I misspoke at the beginning of the video, but yeah. No, from there we have 4 of the BT19 Rika, 1 of the EX2 Rika, which makes me it makes me curious, like how do we really value the Rika in the sense of which part are we caring about? Is it the memory setting that we care a lot about, or is it the when attacking? Because the Sukuyamon deck isn't really known for attacking a lot, right? When we do attack, hopefully it's here at this Taomon where we can get this inheritable going. But outside of that, it's not too crazy. We also played one of the original EX2 Taomons to play a Rika on 2, so we could, funny enough, we could play our level 4 could play Rika and a level 5 could play Rika, so we could have like up to 3 Rikas just chained up the line, because this one cares if you have 1 or fewer, and then this one just plays Rika no matter what. Interesting list. Volder, Ruin Mode, probably the staple level 7s for yellow going forward. You're probably going to see some combination of these in any yellow deck. But after that, no, I think that's it. That's it, the Sukuyamon deck surviving past the ban list, which is really cool. But yeah, 10th place, Peaches, congratulations. And let me double check. Yep. And from here, we get to talk about some of our Galaxy players. So Galaxy got hit, air quotes, got hit on the ban list. We lost the Mirage Galgamon, and I don't want to say I told you guys so, but like I kind of went. I've kind of for a long time have been saying that like if you hit Mirage to 1, the deck isn't dead. The deck will still do all of the shenanigans it can do, and you can argue, if you know one way or the other if. Oh, the deck is healthier now because we don't have the Mirage Floodgate constantly in our face, and you know that's a different debate. However, I always said that they're just always going to find a different level 6 blue or red to take advantage of, and now we even have a level 7 blue or red card, which it doesn't really, the colors don't really matter, but you get my point. Medieval Galamon has also been added to the deck, which just gives it a different avenue of removing things earlier and not always needing to just evo up all the way. Also gives Flaremon a little bit more value because now Flaremon can just digivolve into Medieval. But I think the biggest thing we saw even out of Worlds was that Invisimon fits into this deck like a glove, man. Being able to attack security, have jamming, put the guy in the body, and then just have it exist as another body coming out at the end of your next turn is ridiculous, man. And then nah, deck needs to be hit further. I can't not say that. I feel like definitely there's certain parts of the deck that still like enable way too powerful plays. I think off the back of this Galgamon and the Tamer, just being able to go into things like level 7s for free is probably too high of a power ceiling for any deck to achieve. I mean, MDF is on the ban list for a reason, right? It's because we're digivolving to level 7s for free. So with that in mind, I think like some touching up here on these two cards would be the best way, but it's not a big deal otherwise. Too many free things on that deck. Yeah, I can kind of agree, but I didn't actually name which player this was. This list we're looking at here is Nathan Warren's 12th place 7-2 Galaxy list, and we're seeing all the normal staples. Even still having Ryugamon, I would have thought Ryugamon would have been phased out at this. Ryugumon would have been phased out by now. Maybe a couple more Wisteria memory boosts could have helped us. We had the 4 Colin Sao. And I mean, like, again, I hate to talk about somebody's deck and ratios like this, but at the end of the day, Sun and Moon has been a pretty solved list at this point. Like pretty much up until the champion and ultimate sections tend to stay the same, and then your level 6 toolbox is what the deck is known for. And then our option collection, 2 scrambles is interesting, especially since sometimes like the blue scramble can maybe whiff given on certain boards. I wonder how often that came up. We do have more blue champions and blue ultimates than we do red, so like it shouldn't come up too often, especially if we have Hankun scramble into Mirage. That probably sounds pretty busted. Yeah, and I never think that like we should. I'm never in favor of banning the Colin Sao. I really just think it shouldn't allow players to digivolve into any Digimon, because this is the real card that's letting us digivolve into Omnimon X or Imperial Dramon, and I think that power level ceiling for this card is just a little too high. If this was reserved for only to digivolve into Nightclaw Nightfang, I think the deck would be a lot more fair, I guess. And maybe that's a bad thing, but you would still enable all the cool memory manipulation plays. You would still have a lot of memory to go into your level 6s. You just wouldn't get the peak of the mountain of you getting 6 memory for free, right? And we talked about that with Patamon earlier. We have to talk about let's move on to the next Galaxy list. 9th place, also 7-2. So the same score, same record as Nathan. This is Bravon's list, BVRON. But then we're seeing a lot of the similar stuff. Instead of the 3 Hankun, we're actually going onto a Mac Galgamon. Instead of 4 Cressy, we got a Zudomon Ace for coverage, adding some Floodgates instead of the Ukamons we saw previously, which Floodgates are pretty good right now. And funny enough, we're on a blue. It makes me interested as to why we're on a blue. Is it for Hankun that we would use a blue Floodgate here? It must be Hankun that way. Why we would use this over Solarmon, and just choose to whiff on the idea of being able to digivolve in the back. That's the only thing, that's the only hiccup I see there. Could have been a Solarmon instead, and then we could just evo in the back, but then Hankun can play Otama, and there's no blue equivalent for can't play by effects for blue. That could be the rationale I'm seeing. And then from here, we actually have Apollomon in this list. Apollomon is still a good card. I think that's definitely needed in the deck. It adds a lot of aggressiveness. Like we saw a match on stream. I think it was the round, I forget which round it was, but basically they were able to go into Apollo. Or no, it was on the Eagles Nest webcam. They were able to go into Apollo and just be extra aggressive, and that aggression led to them being too fast for their opponent to actually deal with what the Sun and Moon deck is going, because this one of the weaknesses to the Sun and Moon deck sometimes can be like they just take a lot of turns to do what they want to do, or not a lot, I guess a lot in today's conventional understanding, and that leads to your opponent being able to answer what you're doing, and then you lose. Where sometimes if you're just aggressive enough, people can't keep up, man. And Apollo really satisfies something like that. Also introducing the Gallimon X, again, red, blue, digivolves on any of our level 5s, and then we just have immunity, and it's annoying. It's a different type of floodgate, yada yada yada. I'm surprised we didn't see anyone run red, purple, Imperial, honestly. Maybe that's next tournament. I don't know. Then we got the Homer for some shenanigans potentially, and 2 Wisteria memory boosts, along with X Antibody and Paladin mode as our top end once again. Hexblow is too good and probably should go to 0. I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, if I do have a mentality of, if one floodgate was bad, Mirage, then we kind of should start looking at all floodgates and being like, they're all kind of annoying and all kind of bad for, like, maybe not for, like, I don't know, the floodgates, I know there's a logic of floodgates slow the game down and like stop ridiculousness from happening. However, I would argue that floodgates also lead to situations where your opponent can't play the game, and if we're just playing a one-player game, like, why aren't we just playing Centipede or something? You know what I'm saying? That being said, congratulations to Bravon, 9th place, very amazing. And I think that's it for Galaxy decks. So let's go on to Gallant. We had a few Gallants be able to make it to the top end here. Another deck that just wasn't touched by the ban list at all, so should, in theory, be able to achieve, success, and that's what we saw here. This will be 14th place, 7-2, Checo's list. And once again, we're just seeing a pattern in all these deck lists where they're just really starting to get greedy with level 4s and level 3 rookies. Looks like we got 10. Oh, we have a normal amount of rookies in 12, but then level 4s is where we start cutting again. We have 9 level 4s, which, that just feels, in my mind, the standard level 4s is like, what, 11, 12? And so to go down from that to 9 is like, oh my god, the math, it's so gross. But it obviously worked for this player. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just trying to like think of how I do things, and that's never the greatness of the world. You know what I mean? Actually having one Groundmon Ace, which I really like. I feel like adding 3K to DP, adding the 3K amplifier to DP deletion at maximums is kind of nuts. We saw Magidramon also does that. We see some examples of it, how strong that can be in Dobrik Mon decks. And just having a more in-archetype version that does a little something else than just amplify. There's a lot of value here. Sometimes people go wide. I've seen War Growlmons gain us memory when we evo into it, so it's kind of disgusting. That being said, we're seeing a little more normal ratios here. The BT12 War Growl is the only War Growl that matters to us, along with the X, but it's a different War Growl. It's not the same. And Gallantmon, this one that gains us a protection if we're at 0 or less memory from from all of our opponent's effects, making attacking into security free, and also being responsible for giving us a lot of DP gain, plus 3K when digivolving and when attacking, because it's not a once per turn. And if we're here, that thing is pumping a lot. We're deleting 11Ks, which is a really important number nowadays. A lot of errant level 6s are now 11K, so being able to clap into those is really nice. And then Gallimon X, only 3 Gallimon X. Okay, that makes sense. 2 of the secret rare. The secret rare just allows for just, there's so much comeback potential in the secret rare, and we're probably going to talk about that more and more going forward. But yeah, man, this secret rare is so good for comeback potential. And I know, like, with purple hybrid out of the format, it loses value, but it's just still there, man. It's insane. And then our choice of level 7s instead of 2 Crimson Mode Aces, we decided to fit in a Jesmon GX. Kind of facilitates the same thing that like an Omnimon X would in this slot. Even Crimson Mode, just like a blitz attack, just makes me interested. It's like, why not have the second Crimson Mode? Where's the value in Jesmon GX? That's something I might be missing mentally. Maybe chat can help me. I'm not quite sure why we would have Jesmon GX here. But maybe I'm just missing something. Like, what does this do that an Omni X doesn't? Or another Crimson? Or I guess Blitz. I guess one thing would be it gives us Blitz without needing Takato, but Omni X facilitates that too. So, just not a criticism, just a food for thought. Always here. X antibody profile, really low on these. Actually, just the 1 and the 1. Probably not part of our main game plan, but if we draw into it or search it, get a free 2 for 1 off of the Guillemon, we're pretty happy. Not bad. 3 offense trainings make sense. 1 scramble, 1 memory boost, and actually a pretty high tamer count. This is more tamers, and why I say this is a high tamer count is this. When you think about it, this is more tamers than the Mirage Galgamon deck actually gives us, right? Mirage Galgamon decks were going down to like 3 or 2 tamers, and now to see 5 tamers, it's like, whoa, what is this? What are you, blue? But now that makes sense. Seeing these 2 tamers in particular is a lot of value for us, and then maybe sometimes we get to cheek out an extra memory out of the Staccato, so I definitely see that. Jesmon GX allows you to OTK and is searchable with Cool Boy, but we're not running Cool Boy, so... I guess it is. Is it searchable with Guillemon? No, it's not. Interesting. Been seeing a lot of decks with 10, 9, 6, 6 ratios, and I agree, Raul, that does seem to be the current meta of in terms of rookie, champion, ultimate level 6s. That's really interesting. That's very, yeah, an insightful way to look at it. I guess maybe we just have enough draw and offense trainings and mem boost to just get us the rest of the way there. There is a factor to think about that, like greedier decks have the opportunity to high roll, hence those greedier decks can bubble up to the top of tournaments, and sometimes that's what oftentimes we see. Like, a lot of people can look at a deck list and it's like, how you don't break? Well, you just don't need to break for 9 rounds. You can break hard the 9 games before and the 9 games after, right? But as long as you did well in the 9 rounds in the middle, statistically speaking, you're still good. So you got 88th Momentai. Congratulations on that. What were you playing? Let us know. But we will move on to the next deck list. It's another Gallimon list. This will be, I believe this is 8th place Gallimon X, 7 1-1 by Abe, and adding the Solarmon and Gatsumon are the first things we see, and a little higher on the rookie count. No, this is still pretty. A little higher on the rookie count. We're still seeing the same thing for level 4s. Only 9 level 4 or 8 level 4s. So we're even greedier. Wow. Only 8 level 4s going into 7 5s and then 7 6s. Wow. And then 1 level 7 Omnimon X, 1 more X antibody over the 1-1 of our previous list, 2 scrambles, way less trainings. Wow. Crimson Blaze, probably for things like Red Purple Imperial is the big one. Imperialmon itself is a big one, considering who won the whole thing. And Royal Knight sometimes plays by effect too, so it's not irrelevant, I would say. Red Memory Boost is our favored, just because, and we're not even on the secret rare Gallimon. Wow. Oh, that's so interesting. Well, fair enough. I can't begin to try to argue. And then 5, we're seeing that 5 tamer number again for our Gallimon player. This could start becoming a trend and a pattern here. Yeah, no, that's it. I got nothing else to say. It's interesting. And we're seeing the Omnimon X over the GX of the previous list. Kind of like what I was saying, adding Medieval Gallimon is always still a good card. 6 level 5s, or yeah, no, 7 level 5s, a lot, pretty much standard there. I think another thing here that is interesting is this Digimon. Just add 1k to your DP maximums, and I think that egg probably caught a lot of people off guard. This being able to delete 5k suddenly, 9k suddenly. Then if you have the ace, like, all the math is insane. This Groundmon, we're playing 3 of this Groundmon, only 2 of the Tocado player, and this is just adding another 2k. Suddenly you're deleting things that people thought they were out of range, and that probably caught a lot of people off guard. So no, either way, congratulations to Abe, 8th place, breaking into the top 8 with a 711 record. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then we get to talk about our last Gallimon ace, also 711, 6th place. Echo, I guess is what that's the word we're gonna use. Deciding not to play any of the floodgates. We're playing what was it, 11 threes, 8 level 4s, which is still kind of crazy to me. Flipping the ratios on the Groundmons, playing less of the DP amplifier / deleter guy, and having more Tocado playing Groundmon X antibody, and then our 4 and 3 split on Groundmon X to Groundmon. Only 2 Gallimon BT17s is kind of wild, but I guess we used that slot to get an extra Gallimon X antibody along with a secret rare Gallimon Crimson mode at 2, so we're not playing Omni or Jesmon GX on the side. 99th with Blue Hybrid also. Whoa, what's up? Oh, 99th with Blue Hybrid. Rest in peace, Blue Hybrid. Sucks. But to keep going, we're seeing 4 tamers here, maxing out on trainings, 2 scrambles. So we definitely win for way more consistency with our little option lineup here, seeing 2 X antibodies, 3 total X antibodies here, favoring the win attacking one, which makes sense. I feel like the win attacking one tends to be the better one. The protoform was like one you want to save for that right moment, but maybe we're just if a Lavaya starts doing better, or is more represented in going forward, maybe the protoform is the play, just so we can just keep recycling that one champion that we have low count of, or that one rookie, or that one level 5 we might need, so we can keep going back toe to toe with our opponent. Could be interesting. I have no clue, but I believe that wraps up Gallimon. So now we get to talk about the single red purple Imperial. Definitely a deck I feel like a lot of people feel underperformed. It kind of under and overperformed, right? I think this is 4th place, 8-1. Final is the screen name. So finals, red purple Imperial Dramon list. I think a lot of people would have bet that at least we would have seen 2 or 3 red purple Imperials in the top 16 here, but no, just playing where we're at. But there are a lot of interesting includes in this list. We're seeing Salamon is the first thing. I feel like not enough top people actually talk about the fact that to be fair, I'm not watching a lot of deck profile videos lately, so maybe that's on me. But the Salamon acting as a 5th green purple Wormmon is really cool. And it lets you Digivolve into any free for a reduced cost, and it's the same thing as Wormmon. It's so good. A little note that maybe the Shadramon here, the problem child of like deck acquisition right now, is just a little too expensive. I know this event is the first event where the reprint of the Shadramon has been available to the player base, but that does not help the prices, I'll tell you what. Maybe a little bit, but not enough to justify a lot of people playing into the deck. So maybe it will be interesting to see how much it is the price gatekeeping people out of this deck versus like maybe the power level of the deck isn't quite what people think it is. And then another interesting inclusion is definitely having the Valkyremon Ace. There are times where the deck likes to build boards where we're just sitting on either this Dino Bee, we're sitting on this Pyildramon with this Dino Bee that spawned it, offering us some kind of unique protection for our board. And then sometimes you just get them got with a Valkyremon Ace and just have at it, right? So cool. either way, we have 4 Dragon Mode Blitz, mandatory, 1 of the Ace. Can be give or take if it's mandatory. And then a Ruin Mode, just 1 of, which is interesting. I feel like this is probably just like a tech to like just maybe if I need it, I have it. I can always grab it with Calling of Darkness. It's not a big deal. Purple draws through enough cards that like we can just kind of afford to have this brick. And then Demonic Disaster comes out to me as another really interesting card. The security effect is something that is interesting. You may play 1 level 3 purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory. Any on players effects don't affect. But like if you just play this guy at the right time, it comes out, start of main phase, does its thing. Same with the Salamon. It could be really interesting there. And then it's just another extra attack, right? Suddenly fighter mode can go for game, etc, etc. So a lot of interesting stuff there. Congratulations to our 1 red purple Imperial player. Oh, that's our Asian Impact. You're the red purple Imperial player. That's pretty sick. Congratulations on your success. Yeah, no, I'm like, well, since you're here, I guess I'll go back and talk about maybe try going a little depth. Like my curious thing here is always this XVmon. Like anytime I see a red purple Imperial, I'm like, why this XVmon? Is it just strictly to kill delete floodgates? Then if we're that worried about floodgates, a 1-up doesn't always get us there, right? So it becomes really interesting. If there's anything you would like to share with the chat, and I can talk about it in the future. Definitely seems pretty standard here. Matashita maybe not as standard as I would think. I believe you feel you have value in the memory setting over maybe just extra memory boosts, or maybe even, I guess trainings get kind of rough because especially since we're here and we definitely need to see other pieces, and there's not a red purple memory boost to help us out. That's one reason, but it's the extra 2k. So the inheritable is you're valuing the inheritable because we are a deck without jamming. So definitely I can see a world where like we need the extra 2k so we can swing over, you know, 15k bodies, because we get extra DP somewhere, right? Is it the dragon mode effect there? Yeah, so we get 2k, so we're hitting 15, but with things like Royal Knights, you definitely need to start swinging over 16 sometimes. So I definitely see that. And not only just swing over 16, but in addition to that, your deletion effect is also based on DP. So you need to be able to clear Omnimon X's. You need to be like just straight up so you can delete them. So with Raid, oh yeah, that too. Being able, yeah, you also have the Raid so you can swing over piercing something. That makes sense as well. So yeah, I guess the 2k, I guess I hadn't fully understood the value of the 2k, but thank you for that insight. And that's why we're doing this live, which is kind of cool. And then we get to start talking about all the Royal Knights players. We have 4 Royal Knights players that we're able to achieve top 16. So we will start with the top 16, 7 and 2 Royal Knights. Lucky the Unlucky. That's an interesting name, to be fair. Where do I go with that statement? Dang it. I lost it. I lost the bit. Sorry. Royal Knights. Top 16, 7 and 2, Lucky the Unlucky. Playing our own Floodgate Gatsumon. Definitely, I feel like a lot of people, like, I think Royal Knights currently aren't in the position of, like, thinking about floodgating our opponent, especially since we're thinking about floodgating ourselves. I know the Red-Purple Imperial matchup can be kind of rough for this deck, and I guess Leviathan matchup might be harder than we think too, considering how well prepared they were for this format. So just being able to stop playing by effects. Also in the mirror, if you play this Gatsumon after the fact of everything you do, there is definitely the potential of being able to just stop your opponent's Omekamon plays to counter you, and you can just go for game without having to worry about it. That's probably a lot of value there too, actually. Where am I going? Yeah, no, makes sense to me. Beyond that, I wonder what we cut for that. Do we cut on this Omeka? No, I think 2 Omeka BT13 is pretty close. I feel like 2 to 3 that guy is like the standard, but I could be wrong. But let's talk about the most interesting thing about Royal Knights is the pivot towards which Royal Knights are we using, right? And since this is the first video we get to talk about it, we're on 4 of the Magnamon, which has been a standard since the beginning of time. 2 Dynus, which is definitely a reduction of the past, but because we have Last Guardian to help us search It's just not as needed. And then Cool Boy also gets us a lot of draw. This Dynasmon is just not as necessary anymore, so we have cut it down to 2. The secondary effect of being able to delete all level 4s and lower is still relevant and does come up against certain matchups. I get that. Lord Knight as well has completely it's replaced the other Lord Knight. The other Lord Knight was acting as a floodgate, where if our opponent suspended a Digimon, we would gain some memory based on how many Lord Knights, so it allowed us to slow down the game. But this one is just pivoted. It's a blocker. It's a pseudo redirect blocker, so that's really useful. Also being able to go for an Omni play early, because this thing will allow us to play back an Omeka, which is disgusting. This thing will allow us to play back a Magnamon, and then suddenly it's the extra attack we were looking for. Honestly though, let me double check. Trade 1 Digimon with us. You may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card, so you can just play Gatsu. Like, you can do all your on play effects and then end with a Gatsu, and then in the mirror match you're just off to the races. So that is actually something I hadn't considered until actually just looking at this Lord Knight. So maybe Royal Knights should be able to tech in a little more floodgates than they think, especially if they can get to a position where they can trash more than they want. So I guess that's one thing. Oh, every Royal Knights player has been on a Gatsu. So yeah, no, I guess I just haven't been considering Lord Knight's effect to be able to play anything. But there we go. And then we got 2 Medieval Gallant. This honorary Royal Knight at this point. It's just such a good card. And then it's still a red card, so we can blast Ace Jesmon GX. We can blast Ace Crimson mode. And from there, 3 Jesmon. Jesmon has become the premier early game removal for the deck, as well as extra aggression. The extra token it spawns is disgusting, being able to delete 8Ks. It's a turnover of the previous Jesmon, where Jesmon would delete it was like 6 or 4K, but then it would amplify by 2 for every Royal Knight you had. So you don't get the ceiling, but like the utility out of this token is disgusting. It's too important. That token is everything. It just adds so much aggression, so much utility to the deck that I don't see us ever going back to the old Jesmon just so we can delete bigger things. Yeah, I was trying without those kind of techs to see if it is doable, but definitely needed to be run. Especially with these results, Royal Knights would be the deck to look out for. Definitely think Royal Knights was the premier deck, along with Red Purple Imperial. Maybe I think most people were on those 2 decks mentally, but maybe the price keeping Red Purple Imperial out. Also, maybe the power level for Red Purple Imperial isn't there, but Royal Knights definitely has proven to be the most popular deck. But also, like, definitely the decks around it can definitely deal with it. It's just how much of it is Royal Knights a slave to itself sometimes, or just really the field. Leviamon I feel like Leviamon might have like a really good matchup into this deck. And now we're also playing into the Alphamon, being able to just stall our opponent. Digimon with 10 cost or greater can't attack, and that's just a really good ability, right? Especially into Red Purple Imperial. You put this down at the right time, you have protection so they don't get the burn, or they get the burn, but they don't get the be able to delete you thing, because you just protect yourself, and that just saves, that guarantees you get a guy in your source as well. And then not being able to attack, like go into your dragon mode and then blitz, that's just not a thing with this card, right? So being able to stall out a turn is disgusting. In the mirror match, I imagine it's disgusting. Against Leviamon, it has its place as well. Just a good card. Only 1 Genkumon X would be the next thing to talk about, and interesting. It's a pretty cool card. It's funny because it can play the Omnimon X, I believe. Is it Omni in name? No, can't play Omni or Genku. Yeah, no, so you can play Omnimon X, which that's kind of busted. That's kind of sick, right? And then it gets to play any of our these 2 of our level 7s. Crimson mode is not a Royal Knight, unfortunately, but then 2 Secret Rare Galamon to round it out. And then I don't think anyone's surprised by 444 down here. Just the bread and butter of the deck at this point. This deck really lives and thrives off of seeing each of these every game. And if they don't, that's where they struggle. But definitely the pivot point of this deck has become how great Last Guardian is, and the Omeka Cool Boy combination, along with all the Royal Knights. Particularly, I feel like these 2 Royal Knights really change the deck and allows it to be so much more aggressive. The token going in, more Omekas to go in, and then Lord Knight itself to just recycle so much stuff, especially since Omeka's a level 4 itself. kind of busted. So that being said, lucky the unlucky, you were our first Royal Knights we talked about. So let's talk about the next one. That was 16th place. Let's talk about 13th place. Also 7-2. Chris and 91. Not playing any of the Alphamons. A return of Vidramon is interesting. The thing about, I feel like the reason with this Vidramon fell out of favor for 2 reasons. I feel. The number one is it's not red. So we are definitely in a focus of moving towards red Royal Knights due to Jessamon GX, due to Crimson mode. Jessamon GX, Lord Knight kind of gets a pass on that one because GX also digivolves on black. So we also get to like the black ones, like the Alphamon and the Craniumon. We saw Craniumon on stream, but not that maybe this player is not playing. And then the fact that like there's a lot of source heavy decks and you don't really get the removal. As was it for each of your opponent or Digimon with the Royal Knights trait, and each of your blue tamers trash the top 2 of one of your opponent's Digimon. When you would play a Digimon with the Royal Knights trait or a blue tamer, return one of your opponents with no Digivolution cards to the hand. I feel like it's a very rare situation where you get enough source strip with this guy. Maybe I could be wrong if the person in if Chris and 91 is out there. I just feel like the struggle point for most people is the fact that like there's a lot of sources nowadays. Bouncing is really good, especially with all the on deletion in the world, but bouncing, stripping the sources and still getting the bounce might not just be as possible as it used to be. Maybe it's not as relevant as it could be. So there's always that. Maybe stripping partition could be good. Yeah, that's always a good, it's the top 2, which, you know, usually gets us there for partition strips. So that makes sense, but running it too. So we definitely did like this card. Playing the Alphamon for the recovery, which is the opposite of the other Omnimon. The other Omnimon would just completely shut out a big turn from an opposing player with level 6s or something, 10 cost or higher. This one, the recovery really comes up, I feel. The recovery is really important. It just allows a lot of defensive plays. Resetting, essentially sometimes it can, oh, there we go. Omeka loads. The inheritable here, right? When we lose a security, we get to play an Omekamon. And it only happens if we lose a security. And how do we, essentially sometimes we can just cause a loop to happen for a couple turns where we go to 0, play Omeka, go into Omni, clear the board. Now our opponent has to figure out their life. Then on the comeback, we just play an Alphamon, go back to 1 life, and now we're completely set up again. And I think there's a lot of value there. That does lose us in Omeka, but I guess it just really comes down to like what our hand and our cards are at that point. But it is possible to kind of repeat the process a few times. And after that, 2 Genku, I thought 2 Genku made more sense to me. Definitely, this is a really powerful effect, along with being able to just reuse a Royal Knight in the source is really powerful. Get back a Secret Gallantmon, get back an Alphamon, get back a Jessamon, any of these Royal Knight, get Lord Knight. Get back a Magnamon or an Omeka. Particularly an Omeka, right? That's like the big one now. Just how many times can I see this guy? Is one of the big questions that I think it's this guy and this guy in the mirror that like changes everything, I feel. And then I don't think anyone's surprised 444 for our options here at the South. I think everything else kind of like makes sense, like pretty much 2 of everything, and then 4. I thought we were starting to cut this guy. I thought we were starting to push this guy down to 3, maybe even 2, but now seeing the full 4 in, oh no, yeah, we okay, I'm like half right so far, so that's great for me. I'm not a complete fool. I wish I could run all 4s, but with the aces and how the meta is, he's significantly weaker than he was before, and that's kind of how I thought the world was looking at it too. But let's go to the next one. That was our 13th place. Let's talk about 11th place, intras. Not the first time we've talked about an intra list before, but let's go at it. We're the return of System on Blanc, a good old BT13 classic, I feel. The System on Blanc just being just draw 1 and then everything gets blocker, or no, all the sisters get blocker. Just a cheeky little blocker. That's just funny. We're just there because it's pretty. I mean, it's an interesting card. Definitely lets us play. It gives us an option to play early, and we can replay it off of the Lord Knight. So it's like a play Lord Knight, play this, draw a card. That can't be awful, especially if we haven't seen this Omeka. So, and then it's a blocker. So, not bad, I think. Cutting a Magnamon and adding a War Growl Ace, I think this was our solution to, like, in case we got floodgated. That makes sense because this will delete just all floodgates out there. You delete a 3k and then you add 2k for each of your opponent's Digimon. So if they just flooded you out with floodgates, every floodgate they added, they just get deleted, right? And then you have a 3k buffer to, like, if in case there's a 3k one out there, you just pop that one too. So that's pretty sick, and you get a memory for every one with a play cost of 5. Not too, just an interesting tech, definitely. Not anything like groundbreaking. Dynasmon at 1, so we're definitely, like I said, we're seeing the Dynasmon just kind of fall out of favor. Medieval Gallant, Alphamon, the Floodgate Alphamon, not the healing one, which is interesting. There might be a back and forth as to whether this Alphamon is better than the recovery one. What is better, to be able to heal security and reset this inheritable, or just flat out stop a turn from a big, like, another Royal Knight player or a Red Purple Imperial player or anything of the sort, anything that's trying to attack with something, you know, high play cost. Definitely an interesting thought, I would say. 1 Genku, 2 Secret Rare Gallimons. Honestly, I think Secret Rare Gallimon's becoming the best card in both of its decks, honestly. Jesmon GX, and then 3 Oryukin. 3 Oryukin, I'm not surprised by that number. It is a lot, especially since, like, the tricky thing about aces when you're deck building is you need to avoid putting 2 aces of the same name under the Kingdrasil, because when you go for your Omni turn, you can only play one of them. So if you have 2 Oryukins under there, you're overflowing 5, and that to account for that can get kind of rough, right? Sometimes you can make up for it with this Omnimon and then gain the 3 memory off of Oryukin, but it's something to come up, and that's why we're not just seeing, like, a ton of it. But Oryukin Ace is still a busted card. A premium 15k minus DP. This is just better Wyvern's Breath, right? Like, it is gross what this card is. Like, if you were in a yellow deck and you just want to play Wyvern's Breath, play this instead. It has legs and it's premium DP removal. And what do you mean by premium DP removal? It's a term. Digishan told it to me, and we're just gonna keep going with it. Basically, it means it's DP removal that lasts until the end of your opponent's turn. So this is like Magnamon X is completely made irrelevant by this card. It is actually insane. Gallimon ignoring the BT13 alpha makes me think the new Alphamon is better, or you can deals with Gallant and Magnamon X, so that's probably why they run it at 3. Absolutely, that's exactly what I was getting at. Gallant X, Magna X, even Royal Knights with aces and small bodies can win without being locked out by Alphamon. And I'm not trying to say which one is better, it's just we clearly see a dichotomy, right? And that's all I'm trying to bring up, is there is a dichotomy of Royal Knights players either playing this one or the other one, and that's all I'm trying to bring up. I actually couldn't tell you which one's better. I see the value in both. Maybe it just depends on, are you more scared of Red Purple Imperial? Maybe you shouldn't have been. This one definitely stops a lot of that shenanigan, I feel. So, And then Queen's Device, again, our tech to get rid of floodgates, allowing us to do no pawn device to go with it is interesting, but it is what it is. And then Crimson Blaze, again, it just seems like we were pretty afraid of Red Purple Imperial. Like I can almost say once we can count Digimon Emperor's attack for Red Purple Imperial. So 1, 2, kind of 3, I guess, maybe a little bit. Can you give me that? Nah, no, whatever. Definitely at least like 3, a good amount of text for Red Purple Imperial, I would say. And then I guess this Alphamon too, so 3. But that being said, let's go on to, I think we have one more Royal Knights list to talk about. Definitely 3rd place, Malloy's list. Also playing the Gotsumon. So, you know, this is definitely becoming more, this definitely is more popular than I thought. Definitely something I didn't think about. But not to say that it's not the only person that wasn't on it. But that being said, we're seeing a more inclination for the Oryukin still. 3 Omnimon. So we are seeing Royal Knights kind of not favor this Omnimon as much. It's not the 4-of that it used to be, right? We can win games without ever playing that card, which it was something before Royal Knights really couldn't say. And it's a lot of it is off the back of Jesmon, Lord Knight playing Omechas, and then Cool Boy playing Omechas, and then we just have attack after attack after attack. But to that previous debate, we are seeing the yellow Alphamon instead. Mr. Third Place, Malloy, being able to achieve that 8-1. And I want to reiterate, at the start of the video, we saw that all top first place, second place, third place, and fourth place all have the same record. It just came down to tiebreakers. So this, you can argue this is a first place list, in my opinion. So is what it is. And then I think we're seeing some of the similar ratios throughout the rest of this. We've cut a GX for Noryukin, 4 Omni X, 2 Crimson Mode. Crimson Mode is just kind of disgusting, man. Like, it's just so good in this deck. And then what else? Just 4-4-4 can change it. 4-4-4-4, and then I guess 2. Is it 2 Omeka is just the standard? I guess we got 3 in that one. 2. I think most people are cutting the Omekas there. So yeah, I guess yeah. Seeing the spoiler, 2 Omekas is just kind of commonplace at this point, and 1 Genku. So congrats, Malloy. Third place, first place when you really think about it, because tiebreakers, it's not your fault who you played against, right? But let's talk about Leviamon. Definitely the star of of Sunday night. Definitely not a lot of decks people were talking about it, but I do think after the ban list, people were kind of saying like, hey man, the Animal Engine didn't get hit, and Animal Engine is still not bad. So we're seeing it. This is Minth T, 7th place, going 7-1-1, X Leviamon X list. And that being said, I think we're seeing kind of like the similarities of everything to Psychmon. I'm being brought back to a time where we played this a little more often. Psychmon, Gazimon, 4 Gobbly, 1 Labra, 1 Lotmon, so we can swing over the bigger bodies that do end up being bigger than 14, because that does wall us out a lot of the times. 1 Gabumon X, because it's limited. 2 Dober is probably the biggest inclusion or the biggest update to the deck moving forward. A lot of people are starting to value the ability to just go Gobbly, Dober in the back as one of their first turns, saving them some memory, letting them go into this Dober for free, and then saving the X antibody for when they go into Cerberusmon instead, and then generating so much memory for free is pretty strong. Octomon for our Leviathan shenanigans going forward. Deltamon, Floodgate Control is still really busted. One of Lord Knight X, because Digivolve, Piercing, Alliance, Collision is a lot of keyword soup that is just still good for the deck. Especially since we do just have Protoform, so we get the full effect. Anubis 1, it's a 1-of for a reason, and it's a good ass 1-of. Cerberus, Drago, all this lineup becomes pretty. This is the dog engine, and then we are playing Leviamon, so Drago becomes the next pick. 3-3 split on our Swamp Puppies. I think that's been the standard for a long time now. Ruin mode, just in case we need it. 3 Wisdom, 1 Scramble, 2 7th Lightning, 2 Biting Crush, and then 2 Purple Memory Boosts. To round out this Leviamon list. I think we've talked about Leviamon a lot of times. I definitely think the Animal Engine, Dark Animal Engine, is really strong, and it is very surprising to me that they weren't hit on the ban list. But since they weren't, I'm not surprised people are taking advantage of the power that they left in the game still and being able to use it. Leviamon will the Leviamon stuff, the top end is just going to be so powerful for a while, and I don't see that losing traction anytime soon, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, next we'll talk about the next Leviamon. We got 5th place, Liam's 7-1-1 Levi X list. We also, again, a collection of Floodgates, 2 and 2, same split on the rest of the rookies, 1-1-4. Gabumon because it's at 1, Dober at 3 instead, with a 1 less Octo, 1 Cerberus, 4-4-4-2, 1 Anubis because it's a busted card, 3-3 split again once on the Swamp Puppies, 4 Protoform because you got to find it, and then a higher count of I would say a higher count of our memory banks, training and memory boost, 3 and 4 respectively, with a single Scramble, 2 7th Lightnings, 2 Biting Crushes, still with 1 Runa mode just in case. No, congrats, Liam, 5th place. I got nothing to say. I think Leviamon definitely is at this point a pretty understood and solved deck. Even beforehand, there are definitely tech spaces like with Lord Knight here, and are opting for more consistency and memory bank options, making our security even more devastating to hit into a lot of the time, which is funny. But that being said, we can go into our final Leviamon list. Second place, again, technically first when you think about it. 8-1, Dan Geefs. I can't say Geef without thinking Street Fighter references in my head. Dan Geef's list, third place. And pretty much the exact same rookie lineup. 3 Dobers, 4, 1, 1, 2, 4. I think this is almost verbatim the same list. Are they actually, like, unironically? There's got to be something different. Maybe I clicked the... Let me double check I didn't click something wrong here. Let me just double... Yeah, I'm just double checking that there is... That Liam's list and Dan Geef's list are actually just the same. And I think it is. How about that? Huh. Here I am talking about how Levi is kind of solved. Liam and Zangief, or not Zangief, oh my goodness, Dan Geef's list seems to, maybe that's an error on our part. I guess we do have one less. Sorry, I guess no, this is the same list. As far as I could tell, it's the same list. So maybe that's a mistake on our reporting end. However, I wouldn't be too surprised. A lot of people, like, again, Levi is a solved list. That's about it. That's all I got to say about that. Congrats on second place, technically first. So that's all I got to say about that. And let's talk about our champion. One of the people that dodged another deck that was, in my opinion, I don't care how many people go against this theory and either kind of come up with an excuse for it or something. Levi, like, Imperial Dramon didn't get hit on the ban list. I don't care that there's a picture of Stingmon on there. Imperial did not get hit on the ban list. They got away scot-free. They're still being able to achieve all the things they're trying to achieve. Can you argue they have slightly less card draw? Sure. Which then means they slightly less get all the combo pieces that they need? Sure. They still have... This is first place, 8-1. Miguel V's not the first time I talked about a Miguel V list. Imperial Dramon list. And this is what the ban list changed, man. We got Stingmon to 1. And we got Stingmon to 1, and that's it. We added Lydramon. We added we have more excuse to add this XV now, and that's about it. That's about it. We got 11 level 4s. Nothing's changed here. Pretty good rookie lineup. The rookie lineup has always been preference. I don't think that's ever been not the case. Definitely, you see the max out on the end of turn guys, the good old BT12 duo, and then from there you see, you know, the purple one is good, the promo is good. This promo is like kind of optional sometimes. I think some people even cut the purple Wormmon, even though I feel like that's a mistake most of the time. And then from there we have 7 level 5s. This is the standard play. Sometimes we'll see someone cut the starter deck one for the BT12 one. 2 of the Ace, 1 Gallant, Medieval Gallant because it's a busted card, 2 of the Trap card Dragon Mode from 16, 1 of the starter deck, but the starter deck guy, even as one of, is like so much of the peak of the mountain of plays for this card, of this deck. We see it all the time. Being able to gain the memory off of these 2 level 4s is just disgusting. 2 Hexablow, just because we're just trying to round out our Floodgate potential and our diversity on our top end. And then a Fighter Mode from BT12, because sometimes you just need to be big and attack over big. And that's what we do here. We got Security Attack +1, Blocker. Also, it's when Digivolving effect is a really good board clear at times. You never know when or where that could happen. And I would say that the biggest interesting piece here is that we're on blue scramble instead of things like HPD or another progenitor or a Jade memory boost. In fact, this slot probably is the Jade memory boost for most people, and we chose to not. We didn't bother at all. We have 2 Davis Ken, the 5 tamer setup that we've seen for a long time, and that's it. And even our rookie count is, we've changed our Digitama. That is our biggest change since the ban list, I guess. Prior to the ban list, I feel like a lot of people were probably on the +1K Demi Vmon, but now we're just like, meh. We lost card draws, so let's just show Bandai that we still have card draw. Yeah, no, congrats Miguel V on first place core TCG. One of the first. This is the first NA event post ban list. I know there was a couple other ones out there, but that being said, no, congrats, and thank you chat for coming along with me. If there's anything else you guys would like to say it now. If you guys are watching the VOD of this after the fact, or I'm gonna try to post a standard video. We'll see when and where we get to that, but thank you for being here. I'm Risu the Squirrel. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Next time. All right, we're done recording. How was that? Was that good? Was that fun for everybody? Is this interesting content? You want more of this? I mean, I know people look to me for the deck list, and I haven't done it in a while. Just, the apathy for my world is always kind of ever increasing. But was this fun? Was this worth it? Should I do this again? Let me know. I guess I could play DCGO for a little bit. I have 37 people watching. It's kind of crazy. And then we have Eagle's Nest. We have Eagle's Nest coming up. Still 7:30 Monday. You guys know the drill. I'm not selling out yet. It's not sellout time. I will say that I'm looking towards like selling out for artists more. So if you guys know a really fun artist, I don't want to just sell out artists I don't want to sell out artists without either them asking me or their permission. Whereas with like the YouTube scene, I don't have to ask permission because I'm friends with everybody, and I'm also have an ego. So I just kind of sell out for whatever I feel like it when it comes to unless someone asks me straight up to do something, then I'll sell out for them. But with artists, I know it's like using their art in anything is like very shady territory. Even if you are selling them out, they're like, they don't know that. So if anyone knows an artist that wants stuff, I want to start thinking about like doing a sellout section for artists, like an artist corner. That sounds kind of fun. Especially with my friends like Digipanda are doing have product coming out. Curiosity has product coming out, and then plenty of YouTube creators also have product, and that's kind of art, right? Like the art on Digipanda's sleeves and playmats are kind of sick, right? I'm getting a yes to do this live again next time, so I guess we do this live next time. Cool. That being said, I think I'm gonna try to upload it. So I wonder how that ruins my my shenanigans here. Let's see. You get to watch Risu at work a little bit. Upload a video. We're going to find it wherever it may be. Home. Do I save it in videos like a smart cookie? I do. I'm so smart. I don't even think we're going to clip it. I think we're just going to leave it as is. Let's edit. Pasadena Regional. That's pretty good. Gonna copy the description. Anyway, I'm gonna get DCG on the screen in a second. I promise. You guys know me. There is some work to the things I do. And I want to upload the video as soon as possible. So I'm sure there's probably value there for people. How's everyone's weekend? Anyone surprised about the tournament? Anyone thinking about the state of the game? Who's excited for? We got like what, 2 weeks until 21, which is exciting. I'm hoping Adventure does well. I'm hoping to play test Adventure at some point. It's just sneezing. I hate it. I hate sneezing. Oh man, I can't find my stupid thumbnail. I have to take the live part of it off. You guys remember the time where I had a video for the first 13 Royal Knights, and then I clickbaited the hell out of it by putting a picture of Rosemont on it and then saying all 13 at once ? And yeah, that was probably peak. That was probably one of my most watched videos of all time. Oh, that is
infinitely amusing. All right, got this one. We got my stupid thing. I want to take. I need to take the live off. Download. Current page. Bam. Bam. All right, so we are uploading the thumbnail. Ahora. All right, that was the wrong place to do that. Okay. There we go. This is not made for kids. Sorry. We will turn the monetization on because Risu does enjoy getting paid. We are not controversial. Add suitability. Good. And then checks, whatever. We'll just make it public instantly, publish. And then yeah, we'll just publish whenever. Oh hey, oh it's your list, memory leak. Oh, we just got finished memory leak doing the top 16 deck list review, and obviously we ended on yours because I like to start from the bottom to the top. So well, while we have you here, I mean, we got 35 people watching, so if you want to talk about this here, Scramble, I kind of went on record saying that this was a really interesting pick. This is usually the slot for, I believe, would be Jade's and Jade Memory Boost or other progenitors. Hidden Potential often covers this slot, and you chose to put Scramble, so it'd really cool to get your insight on how often Scramble comes up for you, how important it is, what it did for you, if anything. That's really fun. And also the fact that like you clearly swapped due to the ban list that wasn't a ban list. You swapped to Demi Vmons, you swapped from the DP gain to a draw Demi Vmon. So you could just always have the draw, and then I don't know, I guess you added a Lydramon to the list to make up for this single Stingmon that you forever miss. A friend told me this was happening, so I popped in. Scramble is broken in Imperial. Sure, but I want it out of the horse's mouth, man. The Scramble was a recommendation by a friend. My original list was running more 3s and 4s. Interesting. Oh, okay. So you were only on 13. Oh, 13. Isn't 13 normal for? I guess 14, 15 tends to be the standard for Imperial. So I guess I see what you're saying. Yeah, so 13 ends up being a little lower than the standard Imperial of old. Makes sense. But what do you feel like Scramble allowed you to do over, you know, something like Hidden Potential or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? If you're willing to give that information out there, then you don't have to. I'm not putting you, I guess I am putting you on the spot, but I'm also very defensive of my people. And if you say I don't want to, I will be like, yeah, sure thing, buddy. Anyway, let's get DCG on the screen. I don't know what deck to play, so we're gonna default to what I like playing, and there's only like one deck I like playing, so let's see if I can get it on screen. Bam. Window capture. There we go. Play some DCGO for a little bit. Again, for you guys watching out there, 38 of you, Eagle's Nest will be tonight at 7:30 every Monday. You guys know the drill. Not really trying to sell out right now, but Eagle's Nest is happening in an hour, actually. Jeez, I didn't realize that video was going to take that long. We'll probably have to stop and start the stream just because of how YouTube works, and I want everything under like specific thumbnails. So it's going to be sad to lose you guys all. So I hope you guys will do me the service of clicking on the next live stream. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know, maybe there's like a way to raid my own next video or something, but I guess we'll see. But Scramble being able to add back XV/BT16 Pyodras or BT12 fighter mode to the top of the deck. Then I could play out a Vmon, and ask my opponent, do you trigger Moon Evil? No, cool. I'll promote and go up a line. Oh, so it's like an additional way to help you counter medieval. Ooh, I like that. That's kind of sick. That's a good one. I do like that. Then you just don't trigger off of your tamer, and then you just have at it Hoss. Ooh, that's pretty busted. I hadn't considered that before. This is the kind of insight I'm looking for, guys. Thank you. That's like the whole reason we do this video, so I can do those videos so I can get the insight from players. But anyway, let's battle. Pew, pew, random match, select, and we're off to the races. My video is processing. Then I could play it. Yeah. Oh. All right. I need to not sit up. I need to like sit like this because I like sitting like this. Tee. Oh, a bunch of people are messaging me. Stop that. Still. Which blue hybrid version you running? Gabu base or red base or Strawbees? I'm running, I don't like Gabu base ever, personally. I think like you get walled out too much by just random stuff. Maybe it's a little better now that no one's really running like crazy blockers or redirection. But I was never a big fan of Gabu base. Red base, right now we're on red base. And then Strawbee base is pretty much dead. There's a world where maybe I could like still play Strawbees and just use like, you know, Otamamon, put in Otamamons, put in Madoki Betamons, but the card draw is not as good without being able to like turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, just promote a rookie, promote a Goma, strip a Source, become unblockable, digivolve into Promo Lobo, and go into Ancient, swing. Without a way to consistently do that, it just gets too tough. It's just a little too rough for me. Because you guys got to remember, like, here's the thing, like, there is not a Lobomon that digivolves on a rookie for cheap. It was the promo and then the promo and then the vanilla from BT4 in terms of Lobomons. And so they all Evo for really expensive. They're all for 3. Your level 4s Evoing for 3 sucks, man. Like, it's not a good place to be. Blue Hybrid doesn't have crazy, if you're not the only memory manipulation Blue Hybrid has is with the Koji and like Analog Youth if you're self-deleting with Ancient Garuru, but that's not a blue thing, right? So the only memory manipulation Blue Hybrid actually has is Koichi or Koji in the Inherited. But if you're going up a line, you're not going to have that memory manipulation, and so you're just evoing for 3 these really expensive champions, and it's just not good, I guess. Maybe I could be wrong. Someone can prove me wrong. I've been wanting to try to play a Magna Garurumon list, but that also has the same problem of like your champions just cost so much. The fact that like the idea for the Magna Garurumon deck is you're supposed to be able to play all these tamers, play Beetlemon, play Loemon, play Lobomon, and then digivolve like all this cool stuff. But like when you have Beetlemon or metal, when you're sitting on Metal Kabuterimon and your only tamer is like Koichi, you're digivolving for 4, and that is so bad. It is so incredibly bad, man. And Koichi gets you 1 memory, but like your level 4s are digivolving for 4. That is bad, man. And it's not like your champions are cheap. What? I just clicked X and I got into a game. Okay. gonna Digivolve Uko. Okay, we saw the backup rookie. We just play this. Let's see. Show me Royal Knights. Show me. Oh, it's Beelzemon. Yeah. The Solarmon does nothing in this matchup. Unfortunate. Finding Beelzemon. Iron Mako. Dang. I'm gonna find everything there. Yeah, no 4 yet, I guess, but we're not looking for Digivolving into 4. This guy is pretty neat. Depends on how we get their mills going. So he's pretty much set up for next turn, and I have absolutely nada. Gonna hatch. Maybe we see Gatsu. Digivolve in the back. Okay, wonderful draw. Love to see it. We can't leave rookies on the board here. Okay, we left a rookie on the board. I think I'm going to do this play. Attack, go to 2 memory. I'm gonna draw 1. My guys. What the? We get deleted, unfortunate. Play Tamer. Definitely grab that and then put our opponent to 3 and pray. Yeah, I'm also playing red base, but I do like blue base as well. I just like red for card draw and options. Yeah, the card draw is just is a little too good nowadays, I think. Like again, with the loss of the promo Lobo, it's just like what is our raising area for anymore? Because everything's just too expensive if it's on the raising area. It's like we're gonna Digivolve. And I think they're just gonna full combo here. Oh, they're playing Gallant. Seeker or Gallant? That makes sense. Rest in peace, rookie. Yeah, maybe I did give him too much memory. Oh well. But I feel like this needed to happen, especially since we hadn't seen we still haven't seen a Lobo, so we just clearly needed that. They're gonna swing at security, probably not die, but we also haven't seen another ancient. The only thing that kills them in my deck is ancient, so we'll see how that goes. They are going full combo. Are they gonna attack? Oh, they got Beelzemon in there now. They're gonna mill. All right, they have enough to play any Beelzemon they want. They have 2 of the rush ones, but these don't really matter to me too much. Gain another memory. Gain another memory. All right, that's fine. Evolve into this guy. We're gonna gain a bunch of memory again. Is this the one that gains this memory? Oh no, this is the one that gains security attack +1. And then we get to play Impmon. Yep, makes sense. Where do we go from here? Yeah, there we go. All turns, gain a memory. Alright, there's one Lobo gone. He's gonna do 2 checks here. Discarded a blast mode. Whose memory? Wisteria memory was kind of fire, along with Koichi. We're gonna calling. Oh, we're gonna calling our own Beelzemon, and then we're gonna. That's pretty cool. Unless we don't have the memory for it. Gatsumon, 1 turn too late. Rest in peace. Putting them to 3. That's too much. Putting them to 3 with a training. Too much here.
You know, they're gonna get a Beals. On play. Oh, they're this one. Oh, because they want the rush. Oh, then give it X antibody. No. I guess we grab Shaman one. Oh, ruin mode. Okay, sure. Fair enough. And breeding. I'm gonna do this. Going to pack security. We're gonna not use. Going to. Let me double check. Opponent can play by effects, right? Yeah. Going to do that. Gonna pop that. Gonna do this. Gonna do that. Really hoping to draw a Lobo. Okay. Nope. That's fine. Getting rid of that now. I'm cool with that. And then this is gonna put our opponent to 3 when I could have put them to 2 instead, but I guess grab this Lobo. And then play this. Bam. Bam. And then bounce that. Draw their less security and then pray, I guess. It's really all I can do, right? Maybe he hits me with Rush Duder. It's always possible, right? Oh, I won. Oh. Well, isn't that something? Sometimes I've been doing in my build is running one Lunamon and one promo Lobo so I can warp from raising. Yeah, no, it's just, to me, like, I value consistency over everything else. So it's like, you're going to have to see the one of Lunamon and you have to see the one of Lobo. And you just saw there, I didn't see a single BT20 Lobo. And I run that at 4, right? And you just get those games where you're like, you're going to see one and not the other. And I just want to play the game every turn. That's my thing. Like, as long as I get to play the game every game, then I'm happy. It's just, yeah, the struggle is the struggle. You know how it is. Not one. Oh, 4 Luna. Okay, my mistake. I do want to try more Luna. Even back before the promo Lobo hit, I definitely wanted to try more Luna, because like there's always that world where you could promote an Uko, then Digivolve Luna in the back, and then just have like that pretty fun infinite essentially. And then that infinite that like just gave you memory nonstop, it felt like. But is what it is. I got kind of lucky there with my security too, though, don't you think? I think yeah, right. Like I got lucky. Like seeing another Koji there definitely allowed me to have another attack that I shouldn't have, and then what's everybody else doing? Security was nice. Yeah, we had an Analog Youth in there. We had a Wisteria. Actually, the Wisteria was huge. Like it's honestly the security is what gave me the damage on the crackback. Even though my draws were stupid. 4 Kendos, not a single Lobo, and then even going through like the top 7, 8, 9 cards, and not seeing a Lobo or another ancient, actually, for that matter, which is kind of crazy. I wonder if there was a world. I guess if they saw X, like I lose that game if they see X antibody, for the record. I don't know if anyone knows that or realizes that, but yeah, I lost that game if they just went X antibody under the rush Beals and then attack for game, right? Because they would have digivolved into the X antibody, and digivolve into the X antibody and then just trash my security and I lose, right? So I got lucky. That's really all that was. Debating if I get home on time. In Eagles, yeah, you should. I think playing in Eagles is definitely a wake-up call in terms of I think a lot of people get really comfortable with in their local scene and their environment, and it's like the fighting game effect. It's like when you only play against your friends and the people you know, like that is, you don't really realize how good you could be or how good the world really is around you in terms of skill and success and like objectivity. And so it's like when you open yourself up to, which is something I have privilege to, just to Eagles Nest and like commentating all these regionals and like seeing the player base, visiting the player bases around the world, around the NA, you really just get to appreciate it. Like, nah, bro, like a lot of locals are kind of just casual compared to what you see out there. Like, and yeah, man, like I think it's a wake-up call for a lot of people to get to play in Eagles Nest. And I say to get to play in Eagles Nest, but when you play in Eagles Nest, I think you realize that like there's a lot of people that are really good at this game, and I need to improve. Like there's a lot of my play and my deck building that I'm slipping on, and it's not okay. I think it's a conversation I had with, if you guys watched the championship we had for the Eagles Nest tournament on Saturday, McCare, the Blue Birds player, that's a conversation we have a lot, is, you don't really know how bad you don't really know the practice you're missing out on by not playing in these webcam tournaments and subjecting yourself to these these players of a higher caliber, right? And it makes you a better player in turn. Like McCare was a very respectable player, or Michael, I don't know, his screen name's like McCare, but his name's Michael. It makes you a better player because you just getting to experience better players in front of you is one thing, and then everybody in the Digimon community is unbelievably accepting and nice. There is no like gatekeeping. Like if you like, I don't know, like who, like anyone in Eagles Nest, you can ask them, hey, why did you do this play? Oh, hey, what do you think I could have done better? Blah, blah, blah. And everybody will be willing to help you. I remember a time when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And people just let you lose in Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I'm saying? Like people would just let you lose in a fighting game and not tell you how to get better. Like it is just an environment for, it was just an environment to just gatekeep people out of getting good at the game. And that was never fun, and that's never been the case in Digimon. So it's like I challenge people to play in Eagles Nest, number one. And I don't get any financial stake out of recommending people Eagles Nest, but like play against better people and subject yourself to that tournament and realize, and like, but do it with a mindset of like, I want to get better at this game, and you're gonna see a lot of success and improvement. And that's my take. Where am I? Why is no one in, like, where is everybody? I gotta play Japan? Play Japan. Hello, Digimon community. Ready for an awesome tournament? Yeah, I'm ready for an awesome tournament. Are you ready for an awesome tournament? I'm realizing now that I probably should. I need to do a lap around the house, and I need to reset the stream, so it's gonna be sad when I lose 25 of you. For that, but I'll be excited. We will restart the stream under the proper banner and everything, and we'll be off to the races. So
We're just not getting matchups. Rest in peace. Bro, what is this? We're going to Netherlands. Let's go to Brazil. They know what's up in Brazil. Fucking hurry. I want to get better at the game, and I'm taking it seriously. That's why I'm practicing. I'm practicing as a judge, and that's a good way. Knowing all your rules is definitely a step towards making sure you know all the rulings and how all the interactions are laid out. Definitely is a great way to understand and get better at the game in its own right. Like Ludion's had success, right, playing Red Purple Imperial, and he's just like, he's immaculate with the rules, right? I would say that it's not a substitute for practice or like physical practice, like actually playing the game, because it's one thing to be able to oversee a game and see how it goes. It's another thing to, you are the one responsible with all the choices in hand and the things in the interactions and what, like when it's, you're the one at stake, you're the one who has a loss or a win at stake, right? And that different mindset does change people. I don't think it, and it's just one thing to consider, but definitely practicing as a judge is definitely a great place, a great avenue, I should say. We're not getting a match, huh? This is not gonna happen. Rest in peace. I think it's time to. I think I'm going to close down the. If we don't get a match here soon, I'll probably just close down the stream. And am I in the wrong version or something? Is this not the current version? Maybe I gotta reopen something. I actually don't know how to track what the current version of DCGO is. I'm so bad at that. I know there's like a Discord or something that helps, but I'm infinitely uninformed when it comes to this. Here's the Google client. The Google client doesn't say. Oh, there's 1.77. Dang it. Oh, that's my issue. Okay, we're not on the right version. Have you tried? No, I'm just not on the right version. There's an updated version. I thought I had the auto updater. This like, I don't understand. I thought they had. Is there not an auto updater for this? Does it not just update anymore? I admit this is. I want to stress and admit that this is all user error on my part, and has nothing to do with the quality of what Hong Zero and his team have done. This is just me being dumb. So keep that in. Definitely keep that in mind. No. Yeah, we're doing something. Something's happening. All right. Well. All right, there we go. Something's happening. It's updating. It's working. It's open twice now, but we're here. We're here. We got the right version and everything. Yay. I don't know why I don't know why it auto updated that time, but not every other time I clicked it. Whee! And we get the match. Yay! This is an average hand, and I'm going second. We probably can keep this. Just missing Kendo for full combo. Wanya. Ooh, blue base. Prove me wrong, homie. Fucking absolutely rail me, please. I want nothing more than to go back to blue base. Oh, Kaiser. Oh, are we like playing like blue base Magna? I guess we'll see. Oh, that's a pretty strong start for me too. I think it's this. See if I get a better rookie. Did not get a better rookie. Gotta get a Kendo there. That's really annoying. Digivolve in the back. And then play this Koichi. Now I have full combo. I can play Rosteria Memory Boost to end my turn. I like this. This is good. I give him 3 memory though, which means he can Digivolve into most of his level 4s without a problem. Well, without passing turn, but no, we're just seeing attacks into security. Do we see double attacks into security? While playing Ancient Deity, can't reduce play cost. So maybe I do leave this guy up. I guess we'll see how that goes. Ooh, playing our 5-cost Tamer, and then playing the unblockable Koichi. Leaving a rookie there is kind of risky, but is what it is. Can't reduce play cost. Okay, that's fine. Going to attack into security. Gonna draw. Gonna use there. Hopefully we find another ancient. Ooh, Koichi, nice. Delete ourselves. Get this. Grab this Tamer. What do we grab? We have Kendo's the problem, right? We'll probably draw into another Lobo, yeah. We'll play this Tamer. Use that. They go to 3 anyway, so we are free to can't reduce the evolution costs. Digivolve in the back. Can't reduce play cost. I don't expect them to reduce play cost again. Then play Mem Boost. See what my security is going to be. Get another Globo. That's huge. Now I can have
confidence. I need another ancient though, but I do have this boost lets me grab ancient eventually, so I am set up in terms of being able to I still actually, funny enough, with this with boost plus deity, I can grab back ancient for fun. If I get another tamer, I play the other tamer or whatever, and then I can full ancient combo. And as long as this Gotsumon is out, he will act as my way to make them draw security. And then ancient resets turn. I can swing with the Gossmon. I can play Gotsumon, Digivolve in the back, promote with Lu. No, I can't do that. I can't do the Godsu promote with Lu. That's annoying. So I guess we'll see. Oh, I lose. Sorry. Have you tried changing the server? I was casually listening. What did you just say? Wait, what? Which thing? Oh, rail me, please. Is that what we were? Bro, he's got Magna Garurumon. I want it. Like, I want that deck to be disgustingly good. I want to lose every time to that deck. But we didn't, unfortunately. All right, I think I'm gonna play one more game. If you guys want to sign up for Eagle's Nest tonight, we will have 4 minutes, less than 4 minutes to pre-register to get your early registration bonuses out of Eagle, which helps him and his team just efficiently get through stuff and yada yada. Keep hand. So, Imperial. I think I lose this. I lose to Imperial so much. It was blue hybrid. Which is like a thing that makes me like upset when I see that like Imperial didn't get touched in the ban list. Oh, is this? This might not be Imperial. This might be was it Cool Boy, Magna Cool Boy? Is I think a term people have done. I did that backwards. I should have just hard played the Shaman, I think. Yeah, I mean, let's force him to answer my solar. Let's see if that works. Into security, sure. Bam. I get my second tamer anyway, sick. And then you just go into Magna X, yeah. I guess we just promote. There's no reason for me not to do things this way. Going to attack security. We're just gonna go full combo here. Use Digivolve. If I hit the starter deck Magna, then I'm just cooked. There's nothing I can do about it. This is gonna put our opponent to 2. Nothing gets bounced. But Shaman. Oh, it's a Yokomon. Damn. Grab this. Grab this. Grab that. The fact that it's a Yokomon actually ruined that play. I should have paid attention. Blue's nice, but doesn't help. Yeah, I think I just lose this. I needed, at the very least, I needed...
Let's at least see what my security is like. Ah, dang it. Are you gonna de-digivolve me? No shot, right? Oh, we are. Okay. Okay. And then I'm just gonna play this. Still no ancient. Very lame. To the bottom. What is happening? You don't have a trash effect, right? What? What? Wait, what? What happened? Does Vmon do something I don't know about? I mean, then we just use the option. Cool Boy triggered? How did he digivolve into the from the trash? Is this an on play? Oh, we just lose. It's fine, but. I probably overdid it here. Oh, wait, I was supposed to. I'm so stupid. I'm bad. I don't have another ancient. I'm still just so flabbergasted at the... I think Cool Boy triggered so the card moved to the left. I didn't have another ancient, which sucks, but if I did, I win that game, I think, right? I was just being weird. I was just like, I'm still just sitting there trying to figure out how in the world we achieved that. That was crazy. Also, not seeing ancient in all those draws is kind of crazy too, but whatever, I don't care. Maybe I don't Cool Boy and no, I still don't get how he got the security effect from that Magnum one. Maybe it's just a bug. Maybe like it's a weird thing that it triggers. Digimon from Brave, right? Or maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe, no, it did, because he didn't have it in trash anymore. Whatever. I think that my correct play would have been some version of... My correct play would have been some version of just attack Kendo, be unblockable, and then find ancient. I needed to find ancient. I didn't have another ancient. I guess my first ancient was kind of an annoying whiff. I also didn't see any memory setter, which was also an annoying whiff in itself. If I could have seen memory setter, then no, I don't know. Doesn't matter. I definitely had it though. I could just attack. What do you think about Appmon, Risu? Deck seems pretty cool. The deck seems pretty cool. I think the biggest issue is that there's just not going to be enough pieces for it yet. The app, like, cause like you're really running a deck that has to just say run every Appmon that they gave you. I'm not expecting much of the deck until we get additional support. I think, when did they announce the next Appmon support? I know they're getting a wave of support in like what, 22 or something. So when we get that, we'll really get to see what they're trying to do with Appmon. Right now, all we know about Appmon is that like they have interesting, like the app fuse mechanic that lets them go into their 4s and 5s. Let me double check where they actually have Appmon Digimon. What was it? Just like search app should be enough. Yeah, just search app and it gets us most of them. Yeah, they have like the weird, like the interesting app fuse mechanic that lets them go into level 4. It lets them go into 4 and even level 5, I believe, right? Yeah. So Sociamon and Gossipmon can app fuse. But it's very, the problem becomes it's very, to take an app fuse, it's very, very specific. And that could end up being like the problem the deck has, is that just everything is just a little too specific for the app fusion. And a lot of their power does seem to come from, I feel like does come from the idea of like you can fuse and then you go into your 4 for free if it's the correct one. I mean, they still all have, at least they did this. Every Appmon can digivolve on the rainbow. As long as it's a STND, what does that stand for? I don't even know what that is. And aren't they like all STNDs or something? No, they're not. What? STND, and then the 5. Okay, so all the 3s are STNDs, I think. And then the 4s are, okay, and then the 4s are subs, I guess, support, I guess. And then we can look at there's only one level 6, right? And it's Gaiamon. Gaiamon can digivolve into from any ult, I guess, ultimate program. So they all can digivolve on each other, which is valuable. Again, my concern becomes like a lot of their power comes from app fusing, so the high roll potential that they have is kind of missed, in the sense that, like, you know, like, you have to see the right guys at the right time. So you need Globemon and Cherismon. So if you like, there is but does the deck draw enough? I don't think the deck draws enough, right? Like there's a lot of cool little effects. Gachamon, no, gives a raid. Swipemon, when this Digimon gets linked, draw a card, but that's only replacing a card. It doesn't really do much. You can link to force something to attack, which is interesting. Gachamon. Globemon is interesting. Gachamon and Timemon. So you need to run Shotmon and Watchmon. Is that what it is? Fuse. Oh, library is not doing a good job. Never does a good job of showing you the alternate when digivolvings. What is it? It starts with a. I can't find it. 3s? Oh, whatever. I can't find it. But then yeah, there's Watchmon, Timemon, and then that gets you into Globemon. And like, I don't know how to feel. I guess. What is the other requirement for Timemon? Savemon? Who's Savemon? Do we not have that yet? Savemon, is that it? It's Savemon, Calendarmon. Oh, we have Calendarmon, but we don't have Savemon. Okay, my gosh. I don't know. Oh, standard, super, ultimate, god. Those are the Appmon grades. Oh, I see. Yeah, I just feel like there's not enough. I think that's gonna be my problem. We'll have to see, but I feel like there's just not, like, I think we need is like maybe like the big thing would be like a Gachamon who says when linking search top 4 and find a card, or like another guy that says when linking search top 4 and then play another guy, right? Like it'd be like Gacha, and you're let's say you're on Gacha, I guess, and then you would have to get like a guy that says like when linking lets you play one of the components for Timemon, and then like from there you have the memory to link and then app fuse, and then you need a guy that probably says like end of turn app fuse, or a guy that says when linking just app fuse if it's the correct guys. Or maybe even a guy that, like, there's just a little bit missing, I feel, probably. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I've understanding decks it's not a science. Sometimes it's really just like, sometimes it really is, you need to put pencil to paper, right, and just do it. We just aren't getting another match, so I'm going to end the stream, but that doesn't mean we're over. We are going to reopen the stream, and we will be going into the Eagles Nest tournament tonight, so I hope you guys come for that. Thank you for joining me on the top 16 conversation and a little bit of post games, but we will be going into... No one wants to play with you. Appmon is another half-baked archetype, not gonna lie. It's a 2-card combo, but App Link plus Haro has end of turn app into app views. Yeah, no, they just need, like, it needs to be like part of the system, and when you default that power to a tamer, then suddenly that's another card you need. You need another tamer. And the more inclusive or circular you make a combo, the better it's gonna be for you. Adding the tamer is like, sometimes, most of the time, feels like a band-aid. It's hard to make a tamer not a band. If Bandai has a hard time of introducing a mechanic or a archetype without making the tamer this like band-aid fix all situation, and without it, like, you just you fumble and fluster and you struggle. But anyway, I gotta commit to ending the stream. We will be, I promise we will reopen the stream in like 5 minutes. We have Eagles Nest in 15 minutes. Sign up, get ready to play. I hope you guys are there. I hope you guys retune in. I want to, as probably detrimental as it probably is, I want to separate the top 16 VOD with the Eagles Nest VOD. I think I owe Eagle that courtesy. So I will see you guys in like